name is Britton, and I teach yoga at the Fitness Incentive. Let me ask you a question. Do you stretch after your cardio workout, or do you just run out of the class? If you're not stretching, it's possible you can do some damage to your body. At the very least, you can just remain pretty stiff. So today, Fran, who also teaches yoga here at the Fitness Incentive, is going to demonstrate a mini post-cardio stretch sequence. You don't have to be flexible to do it. Stretching and yoga will make you flexible over time. I'm going to show you the modified version. All you really need, if you need it, maybe these 2 blocks. They're available in the yoga studio. If you want to buy them for home, they're relatively inexpensive. You can use a mat or not. You can keep your sneakers on. It's fine. You do want to remember, don't bounce in the stretches. Even though you're warm enough to do the stretches, you don't want to bounce and risk tearing a muscle. So let's begin. When you start, you're going to start in a standing position. Since you're already warmed up, you can begin the sequence, start standing, what we call mountain pose. We're going to keep the feet wide apart to create space in the hips. We're going to keep the knees nice and soft. So inhale, bring the arms up overhead. Exhale, fold forward. Now, if you're really stiff, you can take your hands to the blocks. Maybe if you don't have blocks, take them to the shins. If you can't get down that far, take your hands above the knees. So you never want to be on the knees. And then you're going to let the head relax. And then you're going to maybe bend those knees a little more if those hamstrings are really tight. Maybe not even that much, just a little bit less. Good. Then we're going to inhale and flatten the back. You never want to tilt the head back too much. You want to keep. So Fran, let's inhale. Just lift the spine to a nice flat back. Good. Exhale, we're going to come down. We're going to take the blocks to the floor. We're going to step back to downward facing dog using these blocks. I'm actually going to separate those blocks. You want your hands shoulder width apart. And you're going to spread the fingers nice and wide. Let the head drop. Look towards the navel so the back of the neck is open. We're going to let it drop even more. And we're going to separate those feet as wide to modify. We're going to bend the knees just a little more so we don't overstretch the hamstrings. So this pose is going to give you a nice stretch in the spine, your glutes, your hamstrings. We want to pay attention to the hands. Spread the fingers wide. You don't want the hands to be turning in too much, and you don't want them turning out too much. So you're going to use your fingers as a guide. The middle finger can face forward, or you can slightly turn them out so the index finger faces forward. You press into the base of the index finger. That's going to activate your forearm muscle. You're going to engage your triceps just a little bit, so you're shifting the weight out of the wrists and into the arms. Had you not done that, your body's going to fall into the wrists. Keep the fingers spread wide to distribute the weight evenly. You're going to engage the quadriceps. Don't worry about those heels pressing to the floor. And Fran, I'm going to have you bicycle or pedal those heels to the floor. You don't want to do that. Okay? Remember, no bouncing. This is light bouncing. Don't even do that. Keep the knees bent. If your heels are off the floor, that's okay. So bend those knees just a little more. Engaging the quads and the shins will help relax the back of the legs. Don't forget to breathe. You might hold about 5 to 10 breaths. The next posture, let's inhale to plank pose. So you're going to get a little core strengthening in this stretch sequence while stretching the back body, strengthening our front body. So press into the base of the index finger. Triceps engage. Front ribs float back. Lower abdominal muscle pulls back. Glutes engage. Quads, keep the knees soft. Remember, these are very subtle sensations. Take an inhale. Exhale, drop the knees to the floor. Bring the knees together, hands on the mat. The next pose is child's pose. If your knees bother you, let's just start really modifying. Come on your forearms, Fran. And let your head rest on a block. So if this bothers your knees, this is where you'll be. This pose is going to stretch your back. It's going to stretch your quads and your arms. Now let's say we can come back, bring those hips down towards your heels, but we're still going to use the block for the forehead. If our hips and our back is tight, we're going to place the block under the forehead. And now bring the arms to the sides and let your shoulders relax. Now you're getting with the knees together, you're getting a nice stretch into the back body. and a nice stretch into the quadriceps. Breathing in, breathing out. Be mindful of your breath, not holding. Hold for about 5 to 10 breaths. Then on the inhale, you're going to come back onto the hands and knees. We're going to come back to down dog, so set your blocks up about shoulder width apart, and before you come up, set your hands. Spread the fingers wide, index finger or middle finger facing forward. Press into the base of the index finger, engage the triceps. Inhale, exhale, lift the knees. Separate your feet wide. We'll still keep those knees soft. Let the head drop. You always want to keep space in the back of the neck. So you're strengthening your upper body, you're strengthening the back, stretching the back, the glutes, the hams, the shins, and the calves. Now, on your inhale, let's walk our feet to the blocks. If you can't do that, walk your hands to the feet. You're going to be right back in your forward bend, so we're going to separate those feet again. We're going to soften the knees. Now bend your elbows and let your elbows rest into your palms. This way we're just letting the weight of the arms take you into the pose along with your breath. So now this is just going to release more of the back, your glutes, your hams, your calves, stretching and opening the shoulders. So let's take a nice deep inhale. Exhale, bring the arms down. Then bend your knees, press into the heels, rise back up to your standing position. And exhale the arms to the sides. Back to your standing pose. Now we're going to take Warrior One. So friend, bring the feet in about hips distance apart, right there. Take your right leg back. So modify a short stance and modify, keep the left leg straight. But we're going to just take it up a little bit. Fran, take that right leg back a little more. Bend the left knee over the ankle. You can always modify leg straight. Press into your left heel to shift the weight out of the knee and into the thigh. Press into the outer edge of right foot, big right toe. That's going to balance the weight in the foot, protecting the knee, and also strengthening a little ligament in the sole of the foot. Engage the right glute to stretch that psoas. You can keep your arms down or bring them up, but you do want to keep your shoulders relaxed. So you can see she's getting a nice stretch in that psoas, her quadricep going down into the foot. A lower abdomen's drawing in. You're strengthening the left leg while stretching the right leg. And hold for about 5 to 10 breaths. Then you're going to inhale, straighten the left leg. Exhale your arms down to the side. That's it. Step your right foot up about an inch or two. And maybe even just a little bit more. So for this next pose, we want maybe about a 2-foot stance. We're going to keep the left leg straight. Bring your hands to the waist. Inhale, get some nice length in the spine. Exhale, fold just halfway. Just take it halfway. So get a nice stretch, a deep stretch in that left hamstring, a little bit in the right hamstring, nice lengthening in the back. Press into the right foot, just reach forward through the heart, creating space in the spine, looking straight down, keeping the back of the neck open. And maybe hold this for about 5 breaths. If you can, 10 is good. Press into the feet. Inhale, let's come on up. Exhale, step the right foot forward to meet the left into your mountain pose. We'll take one more forward bend, separate the feet. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, stretch forward and fold. Bend the knees, keep the feet wide. Drop the head. We're going to inhale, just flatten the back, so lift about here, shoulders down. Exhale and fold. Bend the knees, press into the heels. Inhale, rise back up to your standing pose. And exhale, arms down to the sides. Standing in mountain, just let your shoulders float back, opening up the heart. And then you just repeat on the other side. So you can do this sequence 1 time around on each side. If you have more time, maybe 2 times. Read the article for all the benefits, for stretching after cardio, and for a little bit more detail on the poses. Thank you. Namaste.